Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another session of the Rat Pack. Nice to see you again. Hello players.
Hello.
Howdy.
Hey.
Howdy doody. We got a new player today. How's it going, Dots?
Yeah, pretty good, thank you.
Cool.
Nice to be here.
Welcome on in. You've been chucked in the deep end today. 1 second. Cue music. There we go. Oh, there we go. So, no particular new announcements today other than the fact that here we are again, and if anyone's checked out the recent GM tip videos, thank you very much. If you haven't, you should check them out because they're not terrible, because I pirated most of the material, so I can say that. And today, also, while we're here doing the announcement phase, 19th I think will be our first Monday session, and the Rat Pack will be moving to twice a week. 4 players per session with our same pool of 10 people that we have now. And I'm looking forward to it. Should be fun. In the meantime, our players are headed over to Blute today, which if you're unfamiliar with the geography of where that is in relation to our Lord Sigurd's town, it's the town to the north. And they're off to meet with Lord Somthinghausen for important business. Gotts is currently driving the cart. Gobbert, Lazarus, Sigurd, Jodicus currently riding. And so, gentlemen, the day is clear. The sky is relatively blue with a few light wispy clouds. Butterflies are in the air. Things seem to be rather well. Although you would note that you haven't seen a road warden since you left. But I will allow you to catch up with each other on what ridiculous things you've been doing since we last spoke.
I don't know about you guys, but I've been recruiting a lot of people to help out at the herbalist shop, trying to make my alchemy setup happen.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Is there anything useful between those shrooms I brought you from the cave?
Oh, I'll have to do a little researching into them after we get home.
Yeah, there were a couple of there that I didn't really recognize. Not surprising with that green gobbles around.
Hopefully there's some madcaps in there. We could always use those.
Yeah, those were good.
You've eaten them?
Well, yeah, I might, yeah. I think I've eaten pretty much everything that grows in the forest or a cave or somewhere.
Very well.
Yeah, sort of...
He had a misspent youth.
Yeah, trial and error, see what works. Yeah.
You say youth, but he still does it now.
Yeah.
Well, if you like to try new things, Gilly might hook you up with some potions of her own.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would like to avail himself of Miss Gilly's charms.
Well, sure then.
So, this gentleman, his name is actually Somthinghausen. That's not a joke or... no, he actually goes by this title?
Indeed.
Okay. Well, keep that in mind.
At least he has a sense of humor. Well, the good news is, as far as I can tell, that from our negotiations, the dwarves will be coming in to set up shop, but from the sound of it, given how badly things have been going for them for the last few, years really, I don't think they're going to be able to bring what I'd call overwhelming manpower. We may need to help them clear out that little nest of vermin you stumbled on, Godwin.
Yeah. And amongst other things, that is because I'm also still slightly worried about all those deadites, spirits, the ghosts in the forest, That doesn't bode well. I mean, there must be some disturbed graves or something, and I've been looking, but, can't really find anything. Oh.
Wait, did you actually find ghosts?
Yeah, that guy, he said he saw ghosts, so I went into the forest, and sure thing, there was some ghosts there.
Oh,
One tried to bit me in the ass. Yeah. Well,
I don't think he's joking for once.
Well, no.
Well, I think that's something our priest might have to handle with you. I don't have any potions to get rid of ghosts.
Oh, I've been pondering and breaking my brains about how to deal with them. But until we find why they're there, nothing much we can do, actually, so...
Well, something we can put on the later list. As far as this goes, my biggest concern is the fact that, from what I understand from talking to the dwarves that were present, those goblins were ranting and raving about trying to stop someone. Perhaps the river gets, perhaps somebody else.
River are becoming quite a nuisance, that's for sure.
Well, my hope is that Lord Somethinghausen's notorious hatred will probably have something to do with inclining him to give us assistance if we come up with a plan to deal with the vermin.
What about you, my Lord Sighard? What have you been up to lately?
Well, I mean, I paid for your apothecary to be built.
Oh, yeah.
With other people's money, that's the way to power, don't you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm probably the poorest around here, but anyway, did some recruiting for Tal. Got some new followers to help Yeoman out.
Oh,
And,
that's always good.
Yeah.
So is he less inclined to light Dewey's shop on fire?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. You gotta do
He
some
seemed
stuff.
to give me the evil eye last ran into him.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I. Well, you have to tell me about that sometime. Hey, Gots, how was your travel north?
Yeah, it's been good, yeah. Work. It is no pony farm.
Yeah, no, it is not. Unless, that pony's on the body of a dude that eats people.
It is also on fire. I wish I was joking about the last bit, but I'm not. So, had you know this road well?
I've been down many times.
Good. Because I'm afraid if things go badly, we may need to travel a lot, and if things go well, we'll need to travel even more frequently.
No problem,
Any-
my friend.
Any issues with bandits this way?
The road is clear.
Speaking
don't
of
get too
clear,
close to the river.
speaking of clear gots, the road is narrowing and another cart is headed your way. I'm going to ask you to make the first roll of the day with an average drive test, please.
Of course.
This is as the road narrows a little bit. You will have to be careful in order to not fall off the road. A slight
Fall off the
failure.
road.
A slight failure. That's not necessarily a terrible thing. Okay. You scooch off to the left, the other to the right, and the other cart approaching has a couple of guard up ahead, a couple behind as well. They seem to be armed, but the cart is fairly decorative looking. And they stop alongside you to slow down as such. Not an infrequent thing to occur on such a pleasurable day. A well-dressed, very theatrical-looking gentleman holding a glass of some liqueur locks eyes with you, Gots. Good evening, my gentleman. Wonderful day, is it not?
Guten Tag.
Indeed. I say, is this the road to Bogenhafen?
Yes, yeah, da.
Marvellous. I'm quite sure this veritable beast of a driver is trying to get me killed with his driving.
I see.
I say, would you like to play swapsies?
Nine, this is not my wagon.
Shame. And tell me, what treasures do you have inside? And,
Beer,
ooh,
potions.
eyes up the rest of the cart. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Brandy for anyone?
Don't mind if I do.
That sounds delightful, sir. My thanks to you.
Throws you a small bottle over. Oh, lovely to meet you. Where are my manners? I'm Carl von Amelbonbon, historian and a thespian, as you can tell.
What?
Historian and a thespian.
Lesbian?
He's an actor, Godbert.
Very similar.
In plays.
Yeah,
Off
if
to
he's
go.
a lesbian, he's a pretty good actor, and indeed, looks like a dude.
Off to go travelled from my castle to the slums of Bogarth, one must make do. I say, is that Lord Achaidh by your side?
Indeed, sir.
Oh my. Grabs a
Yeah.
fan and flutters it at his face. The ladies' gossip doesn't do you justice, sir.
Well, all right, thank you. I'm not sure where's your castle?
Altdorf, sir. Come travelling down to the slums. Cousin died in an awful black powder incident, shooting himself in the courtroom.
I heard
about this.
Indeed.
Lawyer?
Finest in the land. I'm there to go pick up the mess and do some favours. I will be staying at the Dancing Pony. If you should fancy some company, I'll be there.
Oh, I'm sure if our
Much
Lord
obliged,
is
sir.
traveling, he'll be happy to make your acquaintance.
Lovely. And I will say, Sigurd, if you are to come, bring brandy. I'm awfully stiff when sober. Toodle.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Ta-ta, gentlemen! As the cart travels off into the distance. You have a bottle of brandy
I'm gonna add him
now.
to your fanboy club.
What the hell? The Reckland just gets weirder and weirder every time we go anywhere.
It's just your handsome chiseled face. They can't get enough of it.
It's nice brandy.
So they say.
Very fruity notes, Lazarus.
Am I at all familiar with this guy? I rolled Lord Reichland to see if I recognized him, even by reputation.
Oh yeah, with a +5. Yes, eccentric, thespian, theatrical, of noble blood. He is a scholar primarily, but a man of many trades. And yeah, it would appear that it was his family member that died in a courtroom drama only a couple of weeks ago by shooting himself in court while demonstrating that his defendant was indeed killed by a black powder weapon.
Well, good lord, I hope he got the man off the charge.
He did indeed.
Dedicated to his work. Seems like much like his relatives.
Question for you,
Anyway.
cousin. Did you ever speak with Lord Somethinghausen during that unfortunate business with the
just
people of the woods?
correspondence.
Anything you can tell me from your correspondence with him?
GM, was there anything other than just we'll reschedule?
Oh no.
I guess not.
Was that to your GM?
No?
Oh yes.
Apologies, I
Yeah,
thought you
I
were
see.
conversing. Repetez-vous, s'il vous plaît.
I can't. Was there anything in the correspondence between me and Somethinghausen after the when I needed to reschedule that we should know about?
Not a lot. He's just expecting you today at some point.
Okay.
But on that note, Sigurd, you recall that you did receive a messenger this morning by haste. You still have the letter in your jack pocket. Correspondence from Grunberg.
Indeed.
Nothing
Yeah.
good ever comes from.
I'll pop that open and read it on the while they're chit chatting, and then I'll pop it open and read it.
It reads, "My dear lord, while I am pleased to hear that your town fares better as the result of a noble knight, regretfully I feel you must be mistaken. For our blessed son never returned from the Battle of Moor, and we miss him dearly." Likely some mistake or such. We wish you all the best.
So I'll just read it and kind of shake my head, kind of like, and then look up at Jodicus and be like, "Well, I expected it," and then I'll hand him the letter.
I read the letter.
Yeah.
Says the same thing.
Yeah, hold one moment.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
doesn't change per
exactly
person.
what I'm doing. No.
And then Lazarus was the only other one there, so I'll hand it, and then he can pass it on to read it. And
This is some fun, Brandy.
Isn't it?
yeah,
Unlike the
yeah.
delightful people that seem to be making your acquaintance. So, tell me, cousin, how did we end up with a dead knight who was very much, as I understand it from talking to literally everyone that was there, not dead at all?
I'm just gonna look at Lazarus. I'm not even gonna say anything.
Wait, what? Was this the night at the tournament?
No, that was the unfortunate Bretonian with that atrocious accent. No,
I mean
this.
the Stragani.
No, he was with the Stragani at the joust too.
Oh, was he there? I'm afraid I missed him in the crowd.
He was the backup in case anything happened to our Bretonian friend.
Well, I applaud you for having a backup.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that knight saved
Yeah,
our town.
sure.
Well, that's
Nope.
good. Did you know he was dead?
Well, I mean, he could just be missing and presumed dead.
I suppose. I suppose.
I
His
also
family
seem to
misses him
recall.
dearly.
I also seem to recall there was a tomb with a missing body in a mine or something. With some rats.
Well, I don't think he's that old, because that tomb outside town is I believe that's quite a bit older than this lad would have been. He'd be
Tell me-
closer to Jodicus's age, I think.
Where did you retrieve the priests from the Temple of Moor that came and assisted? Was it from Bogenhofen? Was it from...
Yeah. But Belgenhagen contacted their sect and they brought in some blackguard.
Well, at least they took it seriously.
Yeah, and then said, "Yep, he went east," and then that was it.
Got.
But I don't believe they're the same person.
I'm going to need another average drive test from you, please. I'll tell you why in a moment.
Yep, of course.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful.
Super.
Up ahead of you, Gots, in the middle of the road, is an old man stumbling towards you slowly. And you do manage to move the cart to the side, but do you have anything to say to this gentleman?
Guten Tag, my friend. Any response?
In front of you is a old man who is lurching forward slowly. He is dragging by his side what looks to be a green-looking doll or child. It's not quite. He's not quite clear, but dragging it by the foot, it appears to be dead.
Oh, wonderful. So is he clearly drunk? Is he just
He does
mad or
make an
what's the kind of vibe?
make a intuition roll for me, please. That will be on your skills on the left-hand column. We'll make
Average?
this average. Some things will be apparent.
Well,
It seems that he's probably slightly inebriated and fairly senile.
cool. So stop the car. Guten Tag.
Well, howdy. Nice to meet you.
What are you doing on this long road by yourself?
Somebody told me there was silver down in the mines over there.
I know nothing of that. What is with
I
the
know
doll?
that voice.
I know that voice.
Yeah.
Do you know this delightful inebriated gentleman, cousin?
Is this the guy that tried to save Celip?
He looks you in the eyes. Never seen him before in my life. It's the same guy. Well,
And the doll? What did it use dragging?
it looks like a goblin.
Oh.
This is Timmy, my boy.
Guten Tag, Timmy.
Say hello, Timmy. He's holding it by the foot and shakes it a little bit.
A wonderful night.
Yeah.
May
Nice.
I ask, sir, why you are taking Timmy down the road toward our town?
I heard there was silver down in the mines, and I figured I'd go looking. See if I can find my little Timmy.
Well, it appears you found Timmy, seeing as you're dragging him by the foot.
He looks nervously down at whatever he's holding. Back at you. No.
Is the goblin alive?
Doesn't seem so. It looks like if it was, the amount of rocks that its head's been dragged across has probably seen to that. Well, if you don't mind, I better get a move on. Day's about to break.
Feel free to stop by the blacksmith shop. Say hi to Celip.
Will do. Oh,
I'm sure he'd be delighted to see you.
one last thing before I go.
Beware the stone.
Beware the stones.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good luck in the mines.
Yup. Find myself my little Timmy. Walks away. What's Godbert wondering right now?
I was wondering if that beware the stones is something that would trigger something in his memory.
You've certainly heard of some stone rings. You've heard tale of Sighard telling you about the stone rings guarded by elves, but you also know that there is the Black Stone Ring to your north. It is a little bit more of a well articulated sightsee for the occasional archaeologist and historian alike. You'd probably be familiar with them. They're to the north of Blute Rock, not too far from Midfurt. I would say with your +3, there has been lots of theories as to what the hell they are or where they came from, but with your knowledge, old totems to be worshipped, most likely. Obelisks of channeling, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
That'll do. Waddling off into the sunset now is the old man dragging his goblin by his side.
That's a long walk.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll kill him? I'll take decent odds on it.
Well,
Who will kill him?
Oh, the goblins.
No. I have a
How
feeling
about
we'll
the
see him when we get
squigs?
back. Yeah?
Believe me, the
I don't know.
Slayer was quite vociferous on the things. I didn't even know they had a name.
I've never seen one, I don't think.
Well, apparently, if you take a little football and you inflate it a little bit more and then give it lots of teeth, apparently that's what it's a name they have for it.
Now, Hydra is going to go to the toilet real quick, so please keep talking for a couple of minutes.
It's probably best that he meets his end somewhere in the forest, because the weak of mind are susceptible to the corruption that we have seen, well, that you have seen here. So it might be a good thing if he perishes.
I have a feeling that his simple mind is brought on by something like syphilis, because apparently his wife was having relations with the yard boy or something. I don't know, farmhand.
Yeah, that figures. But then again, there's always truth in what the simple-minded say, and he said, "Beware the stones," and that got me thinking, because you got those stones, and there's also that circle up north. Might be worth looking into.
Yeah, there's one north of there's one north of Blute Rock, between Blute Rock and what's the name of that town? Wolfert.
Do you think that the gentleman
It's
may
on a
have had a
fairly
bad
heavily-
experience?
Well, must have come from somewhere.
He tried to carve his name in it, or carve his name out of it, something like that. And then, I don't know, gave up and went home. And that's when he found his wife schlepping the farmhand or something. At least that's the story I heard.
I mean, he could be talking about the farmhand stones.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Are we that
Riddle-
lucky? Gentlemen, we are not that lucky. He probably did.
Yeah, we got
have
enough stone circles
Right.
to deal with right now.
That was my concern.
And so, it is approximately another 20 minutes or so to your destination. Is there anything else anyone wishes to warn each other of or tell tale of before we arrive? If not, I shall take...
Yep, I'm good.
Guts, how far ahead is it we still have to go?
It's about 20 minutes. Not long now. Watch out with spooky ghosts.
You seen any here?
Many on this road.
Figures. And he stares in contemplation.
Okay. Time goes fast for you, Godbert.
Yep.
And it is not long before you are within the wonderful town of Blute Rock. That is raining, rather unfortunately. It's almost as if you step through the gates and the heavens open up upon you. Not drenched, but certainly not warm. Lord Somethinghausen's mansion, if you would call it that, is on your right, his noble home, but there is also the town. A few individuals are still stood outside under balconies, under cover, conversing. It's market day, somewhat subdued by the rain, but the town seems to be relatively prosperous. At least compared to when you last saw, where it was
change.
somewhat in ruin. You can see
Have they rebuilt?
the majority of work has been done. At least there are still a few projects in construction, you would assume. The wall has been reconstructed, and the majority of the buildings south of the river likewise. Although mostly they seem to be hastily built in wood. That being said, you also get the impression that that is the more... it was probably known as the slums, or referred to the slums before it was decimated, so the nobility clearly chose the safer side of the river to be housed in. You have some... No, you have no particular time, Achaidh, that you're due at the Lord's home, but you can do as you please. It's simply an open invitation today to turn up when you like.
Do we have any
Gentlemen, is
business?
there anything that you need to do in town while we're here?
My only business is with the Lord. I'm
Anyone?
hoping that we can get at least a little bit of a negotiation started on mutual river warden work.
Yeah, indeed. That is one. And then if I wanted to bring up possibly sending individuals to get training for road wardens, since we don't have any left. I think Reinhard was our last one. But that is it, if we get to that point stage.
Did I do a gossip roll to see if Blute Rock's had any disease outbreaks? Like, what was the Waldhofen?
You certainly can.
I will assist you in that.
Jettenberg to your south is the other city that seems to be afflicted by some mysterious ailment. You can't see any homes that have been burnt to the ground here, so you're off to a good start. And that's against 153, apparently.
I don't know. Oh, it's a 96, so it's an automatic fail.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yep, that is definitely an automatic fail. I don't know where the 153 came from, but I'm afraid that the people here don't seem too receptive to your mask, Grim. Or Lazarus, apologies.
Can you tell me about any plagues around here?
Most seem somewhat fearful of you.
Okay. Well, I tried.
Okay.
I want to see if I can catch up on any local news. Maybe I'll go to a bar just to see what there's the middle class establishment. I forget the name of it. Let's see here.
The one on the left.
Yeah, that's
That
immediate
one.
left, I think. Yes,
Sure.
that would be the one.
Sure.
I think that I'll go over there and go inside, order a drink, a decent one, and see what I can hear about local news.
Okay. You can just simply roll me a average perception. Average and not easy, purely because it's fairly busy inside. Lots of conversation simultaneously going on to pick up on, so somewhat challenging to pick out individual voices. Okay. You hear several tales of ghosts. And several mentionings of the lady. The town is
lady?
spooked by something. Mostly. People telling each other tales of caution. And a few claiming that they have seen her. Mostly a fairly sort of theatrical tint put on it. Lord Reichland would be enough to say ladies in lakes are generally a thing to be very cautious about, but it's not something you know to be local to here. It's not something you would have heard of before.
I think I'm going to pass this information on to Yodicus, finish my drink, leave a tip, and head on out the door.
Pass it on to yourself.
I assume you received the information yourself and then passed it on to Godbert?
That's yes. I'm going to pass it on to everybody once we get outside. Once I get outside.
Sure. Sure.
Any mention of where the lady in the lake is being seen?
You'll have to go have a little poke around to listen in, Gots.
Okay.
If you step in the bar, I'll give you an average perception test
Yeah, sure thing.
to just see what information you get. That won't be to hone in. If you want to ask someone, you can certainly ask.
No.
Difficult to make out from listening in. Although I would say at this point you haven't spoken to anyone. You're just a stranger with a pint at the moment.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll sit down and enjoy my drink.
Okie dokie. What's Godbert thinking right now?
He's taking in the scenery. So you said they saw some ghosts here too, Jody?
Indeed. Something about a lady involving a lake, which is odd because we're on the wrong side of the mountains for that.
Yeah. Oh,
Sound like anything you've ever heard of?
yeah, out here. Wonder what the Lord has to say about it. The more prominent people of that, or trustworthy and truth-speaking people.
You think those things are related?
Well, one or the other.
Ah, yeah, that makes more sense. Cousins wandered off, so my thinking is...
What's up?
Oh, there he is. I guess he didn't find
I had to
anything he liked
change.
at the market.
I had to change. What's up? What are you guys hearing about?
Oh,
Ghosts.
apparently there's they're talking about down of ghosts, and ladies in the lake. You know. Yeah,
Well,
the plebs.
Isn't that what the Bretonians worship? Some lady in the lake or something?
Yeah, I mean, so far we only heard from the local, you know, the common folk, but it's just gossip. But maybe if the higher ups also are familiar with this, and I don't know, might be something there to look into.
Well, yeah, we can ask Somethinghausen about it. Whether or
Might
not
not
he
be a
knows,
bad
we'll see.
idea. So
We'll
far, the beer here is better than in your town, significantly.
Why
However-
didn't you take over this town? Why did you end up with a shithole?
I'm sure he asks himself that every
Yeah.
day. God knows I do.
Shut up, do your job.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, I know when I'm wanted. Come, Bert. Let's go find us some watery tots.
Good times.
Well, let's see what the hookers are like here.
Oh,
Oh, I wish you were joking.
you two have fun then. I'll go to my meeting.
I believe I will accompany you to the meeting. As lovely as the ladies of the night likely are, I will leave Bert to his stock and trade.
Oh, you know, I got this thing, and I just play the senile old man, and you know, fondle them a bit, and then they laugh a bit, and then send me on their way. Cup of fuel for free. Gives you.
Well, at least you aren't spending money on it.
Oh, no, of course not.
That's the noise he makes as well. Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Good lord. Okay. So, Godbert, good
Yes.
luck to you, sir.
Yep.
As you wander off on whatever mission that we'll come back to in a moment, hastily, fingers twitching quickly. Gots, do either of those propositions sound attractive to yourself?
No, I'm going to head to the stable and sort the old horses out and go from there.
Okay, can you roll me... I'll tell you what, we'll come back to you, Gots. We'll come back to you in just a moment. Lazarus, Sighard, and Yodicus. Oh, Lazarus, I should ask. Do you have any
I'm going to the
plans?
meeting.
You're going to the meeting. Okay. So, Lazarus, Sighard, and Yodicus. The building is just on your right, and as you walk up to it, there is... Sounds a little bit like a blacksmith from a distance, a clanging of metal As you arrive closer, it's slightly less rhythmic, and sounds like there's a sword fight inside. Doors are closed, windows closed, lights are on.
I'll go up and knock on the door.
A calm-looking servant opens the door.
Ah, my lords, we are expecting you. Welcome, welcome. Here's upstairs. I will show you up there. Please let me take your coats.
Indeed, thank you, my
Most
man.
gracious, sir.
I will dry them for you by the fire.
And takes your wet clothing, places it by Jafija.
Take off my mask and spread a lord's manner, by the way.
Good move. Walks you up 2 flights of stairs at this point. I would say that the sounds of battle get louder and louder as you go up the stairs. A cling, clang, cling, cling, cling. It's quite the sword fight going on up here. Now,
Probably not something too unusual for a lord that he's playing around with swords.
No.
probably not unusual indeed. And so, now you have loaded. The door is opened in front of you, and you step into a... I've put the tokens on here for everyone. I'll move the rest of you out, but otherwise you won't be able to see the scene. As you step into this room, you're met with 3 men at the centre. 2 of them duelling with blades. The other one seated with a notably large hat. The 2, currently standing, are locked in combat with swashbucklers drawn, sweat beating down off of them, dressed lightly in clothes and leathers, and are parrying, crossing, and clearly trying their best to find an opening in the opponent's defence. I'll be with you in a moment. Waves his hand at you as you enter. The 2 barely acknowledge your existence at this point, but after some further 20 seconds, a blow is finally landed across the combatant on your left upper chest. He lets out a grunt and drops the blade down to the floor. A awkward silence fills the room for a moment, which is briskly broken by a very loud crack, the sound of a discharged black powder weapon, as the room fills with smoke. That sweet, peppery, sulphur-like smell of a black powder weapon fills the majority of the room, stinging your nostrils. You hear a thud on the floor within the smoke, and stepping out is the man in a large hat. Greetings! Wonderful to see ye.
Lord Sundenhausen.
Aye, that be me. I would
pleasure,
assume
sir.
ye Sighard.
Must indeed.
Your reputation precedes ye.
Must indeed.
Apologies for the noise, just taking care of a little bit of admin.
Understandable.
Indeed. Had 2 wanting to be leader of the guard, and only 1 hat to go among them.
Reasonable.
Good problem to have, sir.
Yeah.
Aye. Now,
Most of ours
apologies.
aren't alive.
Let me offer you a drink.
I'd say the sawdust on the floor by now is pretty much doing its job of absorbing the blood. As one corpse is on the floor bleeding out, the other gentleman has picked up a hat from a table and walked out of the room with a chipper look to his posture and swag as he leaves.
Apologies, I've moved the chairs to make a little bit of space. Here, and
Gestures you all round to effectively just sit around in a circle of chairs with, well, he goes and fetches a bottle of liquor for each of you.
And so,
Much obliged.
let's get rid of that fucking cart music. That's better.
Yeah, I wondered how that's followed us all the way here.
Oh, it's busy out in the town, I'll give them that.
What's going on? We're gonna
And
try
so,
that. Oh, modifier. That's
pretty decent ale, pretty decent liquor. Whatever takes your fancy, the choice is yours right now.
Something like.
Yeah. I think I'll take a risk with a small amount, but I'll look like I'm drinking more than I am.
Okay, noted.
To get his measure.
Noted. And so?
And what be bringing you here?
Well, sir, we had arranged a meeting a while back, a few months ago. And as I said before, now we had something come up that day. We had your blacksmith had run off after that invasion, and we heard some rumors that kids and traders were going missing in the area around here. And we didn't think that they were connected, but they ended up being that way. We cleared out a nest of mutant cultists or something. So I'm hoping that any disappearances you've had around town have ceased or slowed down at least.
He takes a firm bite out of a carrot he seems to be snacking on, and despite the fact he keeps his lips closed, crunches particularly loudly for a moment while pondering.
I thank ye kindly for your service. What, pray tell, will ye be asking for in return?
Oh, I think we'll be needing each other here sooner or later. You've been having problems with the river gets, or goblins, or whatever people call them.
He smiles a... Can you make me an intuition roll, Sigurd?
I can try.
You can try. You can try. I'll allow Yodicus,
Intuition.
Lazarus to as well. Yeah. That's a no for you. That's
I must
worth
have been
one
looking
no.
at my glass.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my glass while he does it.
Aye. Ye be a little fresh, it would seem.
damn.
Oh, Lazarus. He knows something you don't know. Probably quite a lot.
Okay.
So,
So indeed.
I am given to understand from our remnants of our Fishers Guild that there had been a growing organization among the Greenskins to the north. Pray tell, sir, perhaps we could benefit one another simply by sharing information. Our lord has grown tired of sending good fishermen to their deaths.
Information will normally cost you a little bit. How about a small wager?
Yeah, I'm probably looking pretty grim. I look over at Sigurd. Not authorized to make wagers with nobles.
Which one of ye be the better shot? Hit the candle from across the room. I'll tell ye all I know.
I mean, I could attempt it, Lord Sigurd.
He's currently holding a pistol in his
A
hand
novice
and
at
sort of...
best.
I'll draw my pistol. Well, I suppose I'd have to take up on a wager like that. How far is the candle from me?
It's sort of the other side of the room. It's a small target, though.
Yeah.
So instead of a challenging, it would be a hard shot.
Ooh, hard shot. Even with range modifiers.
I will say... Let's go with challenging overall.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see what happens.
And I will say this is aiming for the body of the candle, not necessarily for the flicker of the flame, for the wick.
Right.
one being slightly more believable than the other. But
When you're ready.
rubs his hands together and looks amused.
I pull back,
Well,
line
I'll
it
be
up,
damned.
turn to look at him smile. While I'm looking at him smiling, pull the trigger.
He doesn't look toward the target and locks eyes with you with a smile on his face, seeing the light in the room flicker as the shot goes off, and then dim slightly as one of the candles goes out.
Marvelous. Got yourself a dead
I do
eye
love the
shot.
smell of black powder.
Yeah, I will say by now the room is stinking with it. Your eyes are watering, and it is a particularly... It's like
Just like back in,
breathing whiskey.
just like being back in Nome.
I know it
Aye.
does lend the room a degree of homeliness, I would say.
Now ye proved yourself to be worthy of a parley, so let us converse a little bit. We be killed the Refugee some 2 months ago, I believe. Went upriver with a few of us on ship and let loose with a few dozen valleys of lead. But yet they remain. I have a theory, though, if I may say so.
Do tell.
Please be my guest.
Well, the new river gets be standing slightly taller than the previous ones. And if I didn't know better, I would suspect pirates.
Interesting.
Are you
Pirates
suggest
under the guise of greenskins,
Yeah, that's just super.
looting and pillaging as much as they please.
It's certainly good cover.
Aye, and nobody be hearing from the town of Grosslin for a few months. Now,
Could you repeat that name? I didn't hear.
Grosslin.
I didn't hear the.
Rosslin.
Aye, outside of my barony, so pardon me for not giving a shite. But ain't nobody been sending fish from there for some time, so boys round here be thinking that maybe those in Grosslin have decided to start pillaging their way to profit, rather than otherwise.
Would be an interesting set of conundrums, seeing as we've had continued losses past the time and date at which you took care of our previous problem.
Aye,
Changes the dynamics somewhat.
would
I'll
also
have to pass that.
explain the use of black powder on their side.
It would. May I ask, my lord?
Goblin black powder.
Not generally.
Not if I know. Not if I've seen, at least. But elsewhere in the world, far be it from me to tell you what exists.
Indeed.
I thought to come to you with a proposal for shared defense. Seeing as how we've traded one set of problems for another, we've been attempting to build our River Warden Corps. The captain was busy whipping his new recruits into shape, but I had been hoping to, at some point, sit with your clerks and perhaps negotiate some degree of shared arrangement to attempt to suppress some of the losses that we have had, and perhaps I imagine you have had as well.
Aye. Truth be told, I still have a soft spot for the nautical side of me. I try my hardest not to let it show.
I don't know that I could
I
blame
wouldn't
you.
even guess, sir.
I'd be inclined to lend a ship, perhaps. If you wanted to make a little voyage upriver and blast the living fuckers off of those pirates.
His eyes squint. His face looks suitably frustrated.
I'll let my man Jodicus here work that out with you.
Aye. A lack of firepower on our own side, but mainly through
So we most
lack of
definitely. Sorry, my apologies. Continue, sir.
a lack of participants, you could say. Not many wishing to go outside the walls after the gore.
Well, that's
I can
interesting.
understand that.
And the lady.
That
Now-
I have heard a rumor about, sir. What have you heard about this lady? Is she tied to these ghost sightings that the peasants keep talking about?
Perhaps.
And on that note, we're going to take a 5-minute bio, ladies and gentlemen. And we will be right back. Love to you all, you beautiful people. See you in 5 minutes.
We need a Cooper.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Ho! Welcome back. Nice to see you again. To see you nice. So, we transition our scene, coming back to discuss any potential rumours about aquatic tarts distributing swords, and instead return to a side entrance to the stables. Gotts, I believe you're currently tending to the horses?
Indeed, so taking off their tack, picking their hooves, just, getting ready for bed.
Can you roll me either charm animal or animal care, depending on which one we're going to kind of focus on? I think animal care is probably, and it's an average test.
Okay.
We'll do animal care first. You do an exquisite job.
Well, I love my horses.
A true farrier. The horse's hooves are as fresh as they have ever been. But you can hear a very soft melody coming from inside the stables with you. There are a number of other horses inside, probably some 8 or so in total. Last you checked, you were alone in the room.
Okay, so I put my hand on my whip, and I slowly open the door and look to explore and investigate.
Make me a perception test, please. Average.
Yeah. Wow, superb.
You can see
Everything.
the bonnet of a lady, the other side of a horse, inside the stable with you. That's where the noise is coming from. She appears to be humming a tune.
Okay, any lanterns nearby, any light sources?
A couple of lights are currently suspended from the struts in the ceiling. So 2 oil lanterns do a fairly decent job of illuminating the room. It is fairly dark inside, not a lot of windows in such a building. And I would say that this is obvious, but the animals seem flustered. A few horses start to maneuver the ground underneath their hooves in a way that suggests to you that they are uncomfortable.
Okay, so I keep my my right hand on my whip and kind of go for my dagger with my left and just keep out of view, not kind of panicking, just having it to the ready, and go up and call out.
As you call out, the song continues, and the lady's face already turned away from you. She walks around the horse, away from you.
Okay, going in what direction? Further into a stable, or into one of the pens?
Into a pen.
Okay, so I kind of edge by the wall and try and keep her in my gaze.
Okay. She continues to step behind a large beam supporting the roof above you, and you lose sight for a moment, and you can no longer see her.
Well, that is spooky. Very spooky.
The horses behind you now are rearing up.
Okay, getting out of their way. Could you tell me a bit more about her? What was she wearing? Looked like?
I would say maiden servant-esque attire. Perhaps slightly better dressed.
Okay, and
Actually,
the melody she was singing.
one perception test for me first. One perception. Oh no, sorry. We'll roll with your 5 for all of this because it's relevant. Not servant. Perhaps merchant. Silver, at least in tier of society. Middle class, upper middle class, perhaps more.
Okay.
Difficult to tell from the rear.
And the melody. Anything come to mind?
Can you roll an intuition for me, please? Average.
Okay.
It's close to something you've heard before. Similar, but unfamiliar at the same time.
I mean, is there a kind of tune I can kind of remember or kind of recall from what she was singing? Is there anything I can kind of pick out and then play back?
You would certainly be able to repeat it to others. It's
okay. Cool.
it's a memorable tone, such as many a nursery rhyme or similar. Carrying forward your +5 once more. The horse behind you is currently rearing up. It has been... You can hear it raise itself into the air. You're going to have to pass me a dodge test, please, to get out of the way of this creature, as it's going to try and bolt.
Okay.
We're going to make this average, seeing as you rolled like a +6, which is giving you a little bit more. Okay. One of the horses is going to attempt to just bolt out.
Can I do a kind of animal charm or something to try and kind of grab the reins while it runs?
I'm going to say we're going to have to do an animal handling first to get the creature, and then a charm to calm it down. Because it's running right now.
Okay, so animal care, then animal charm.
Well, let's go with animal care first. Average. This is your trade. Perhaps challenging for the setting. We'll go with average because this is a double. That's enough. Okay. I'll say you're able to grab the reins that are still attached to this creature and quickly rear its head to the side toward you to prevent it from leaping toward the door or bolting toward the door. Average charm animal to see if you can calm it. He's much better than your last coach driver.
He was shit.
You are able to calm it after some moments. It initially resists, and then after a few moments, its head sort of rhythmically sort of moves with your hand, and its breathing starts to slow. But as its breath slows, you can hear them song again.
Right, first things first, I shut the stable door.
Well, the song is coming from behind you.
Super. I try, so I keep hand on dagger, kind of edge away, no sudden movements, just trying to, my focus at the moment is just keep the horse from stampeding and killing me.
Okay. So
try and kind of get the horse and shut the door so there's nowhere to run for in this to go.
Okay. Now I will say to clarify, if I may, when I say behind you, I mean right behind you.
Cool. So I'm going to turn around and potentially shit my pants.
There is nothing there. And the song stops.
Well, that is good news. Okay, so yeah, rather freaked out now. I'm going to try and juggle horses in the pens as soon as possible and get the hell out.
Can you roll me a cool test, please?
Pretty cool.
I'm throwing all the tests at you, but this is good to break you into the system, and just to break you as well. Full stop.
Difficulty.
Challenging.
Ooh.
This is really just to see how you feel right now.
Cool, pretty cool.
Okay.
Cool.
barely hanging in there right now, but it's like I really want to run right now, but I do like horses, so you are able to tend to the horses, and as you do so rather cautiously, there is no more noise, no more song, no more music. All is quiet.
So once the stable was kind of shut up, I'm going to try and keep us in as much light as possible, and try and regroup.
Find the others and scream help. Good idea. We're going to briefly go over. We'll go back to the main screen here for Godbert, who is probably having a somewhat more frisky time, or is he? Godbert.
Well, as soon he left the others with a cheeky grin on his face and a giddy hop in his face. But as soon as he's out of sight, he changes his demeanor and he turns somewhere between determination and inward contemplation. And he goes around. This place here seems to have some kind of alley or something. Some place where he's sort of out of sight. And he makes sure that nobody is watching. Well, at least not exactly directly at him. And but if there would be someone looking at him, they would see him move to the shadows, take something out of his pouch, rub it between his fingers, and then rub his fingers in his eyes, mumble something, and maybe twitch his right hand a bit.
Jazz hand.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they would see, and meanwhile, this is...
That's enough to protect you from a miscasted jazz hand, I feel.
Yeah.
If that doesn't do it, nothing will.
And I'm going to reroll that because...
Yeah.
Why does it say dark deal to reroll?
Just roll it again if need.
Yeah.
Sometimes the fortune just doesn't like you.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. Do it the old-fashioned way. Oh, that'll do.
Yep.
That'll do. Overcasts included. Okay.
Yep. So for the next hour, you can see into the spirit world. I can't imagine what that would look like, wandering around town, seeing basically two worlds at the same time, but that's what he's doing.
I will say similar to what we can see now, only with an extra layer of fog. A misty fog that has a sort of luminance to it. It almost lights itself. Very few shadows to the objects around you. Somewhat eerie. And for the most part, you can see the individuals around the town going around their business. But you can also hear, coming across from the south side of the river, a few sounds of steel clashing. Something I would say you did not notice beforehand.
From the bottom of the screen.
So down on the on the doodah, basically.
Yeah, he's going to look for it.
Okay. So as you step on the bridge and look toward the southern portion of town, you see perhaps some 15, 20 individuals battling with shadow-like figures. It is almost a reenactment. They seem to be dressed as soldiers, fighting in a stately-like manner, in relative unison as a regiment. the shadows take various forms, some the head of goats, others more akin to cattle, and effectively these mist-like entities, instead of splattering blood, the mist simply dissipates when they're struck, and you see them be slain in front of you. It probably takes a couple of minutes before it's resolved, at which point you see gradually the mist sort of reform. And it is not long until this almost seems like it's forming a cycle. The process starts to repeat itself.
Cool. Do they react if I get closer?
You can walk up as they're fighting.
Are there any other people here, by the way?
Other people are walking around, walking through them, passing back and forth without any... Make me a perception test. Average. You've walked up, you're close.
Perception.
One individual you see walk directly through one of these mystial entities. As he does, he just staggers slightly and then lets out a cough before walking forwards as normal.
Make a mental note of that, because I can't write.
The best type of note.
Yep.
I'll say you've been watching this for some time now unfold. We're probably on the third rendition now, as you've approached. The creatures you recognise as gore. Beastmen. You've heard the tales. You're familiar with the abominations. There is a very slight hint from one of them as they turn their head to you for a moment, uncertain as to whether they've recognised you before they are then struck. Their mist dissipates.
Well, that's time. That's my cue. Seen enough. Freaky dickiness. No. Let's see about those hookers, though. They might know something. They get around. Might cup a feel.
Let's have a challenging charm test.
Yeah. Old dude, high as fuck. But also very charming.
One handful. And that is all we shall say before we move back to our meeting elsewhere that is far less creepy in many senses of the word. And, yeah.
Apologies, just clearing my throat. And so, you were asking me.
Well, we had heard tales about something that was called the Lady, but everybody, even people who arguably are not quite so prone to exaggeration with ghost stories, seem to be spooked by the matter.
Aye.
What kind of problems were bedeviling your town?
Just outside the walls, there be a lady who be frequenting the waters. I keep telling the numbnuts it's a river, not a lake, but Who am I to question the rhymes of the folk?
As you say so.
Anywho, a mist be befallen the rivers, akin to Borghafen's Borgen, but only this one seems to be coming with a lady. Couple folk be saying that she's been dragging folk down under the waters.
Interesting.
Enough to make a man perhaps be slightly more fond of being ashore for a while.
I
Indeed.
understand that.
Still,
Do you have more right in town?
a few here and there. Be sending for more from Altdorf. But I feel for now nothing a bit of black powder and harsh language can't deal with.
That does take care of some things, indeed.
Indeed. 2 gold crown to the man that can deal with the lady. At least that's the price on her head. Although I feel like I might have to raise it a little.
Well, perhaps we'll be doing business sooner rather than later. I know
Indeed.
a certain folklore expert that I will have to consult. Actually, several. We are lucky enough to have had a few priests migrate into town. Perhaps it would be good to pool our resources on this matter. As you know, it can be an unfortunate circumstance when a town's troubles can end up migrating, and none of us would like that, I don't think.
Indeed. Well, if you can deal with the bitch, I'll be mighty happy. Be nice to be back on the waters again, at least in the evening. Waters be calmer around that time. Right. If you don't mind, I have another squabble to deal with.
Before you leave, Lord Somethinghausen, I have some question for you. Have you heard about what has happened to Yettenberg with the diseases?
Let me think for a mo, Yettenberg. The place with the fat fucker and the old man, if I remember correct. Can't say we've had too much travel from there as of recent. Not a lot by river either, so nay.
We'd heard that there had been some unfortunate circumstances with, perhaps some potential overreaction of people being boarded up into their homes and burned alive. Does dismal things to your tax revenues, I assure you.
Aye.
Perhaps something to keep your eyes open for in case some unlucky wretches bring more misery to your town.
But the question is, Mr. Yodigus, did it work?
Well, my fear is that most men tend to think that things have worked long before they actually have. It's rare that one gets a pleasant surprise, such as with the river gets. Far more often a man gets an unfortunate series of disappointments. I just look to make sure that everyone who could stand to gain would know what troubles may bedevil them.
Well, I'll be mighty obliged for the information. Wouldn't be wanting anyone sickly to be coming my way. I'll be sure to burn them myself instead.
Fair.
Well,
He is grinning at you right now.
I just laugh and I just laugh and take a drink.
best way to deal with it.
Any other
It's the only way to be
medicinal questions from the beaky man?
I don't have my mask on.
I'm
But,
assuming you're carrying it, though.
Yeah. No, that is all, Lord. Thank you.
No problem. I'll be seeing you around, Lord Sighard. Look forward to our
Indeed,
voyage
something
together.
Indeed. And hopefully we can have some more less business-oriented meetings in the future.
Always time for business, Lord Sigurd. Perhaps next time we're on a vessel, we can see which one can fell the most with a weapon from range. I'll supply the rifles if you supply the ale.
Yeah, sounds like a deal.
Let us hunt some pirates.
And just downs the rest of his bottle in front of you. And claps his hands. The servant entering the room hastily,
Give a
immediately.
courtly bow.
He sort of waves his hand 5 times in a circle before bowing slightly towards you and then taking his hat off in a similar overly excessive manner.
Be seeing you folk. Thanks for stopping by.
And now we return to you exiting the building to a fairly frantic and panicked looking Gots with a slightly pale face running up to you.
Yeah, screaming
Yeah,
ghosts.
what's
Yeah, I kind of go through the encounter, how it went in the stables. Saw kind of a nice kind of handmaiden, middle class, and try and repeat the rhyme. So, is there a perform check I need to do potentially?
Oh yeah, I mean, we never roll perform, so why not?
I'm not even sure there is a
There.
perform for
I only,
visitors.
I think...
I only did
if
once.
you have it.
yeah, do you have,
Entertain
you
or
have
perform?
entertain?
Entertain. Let's do entertain.
Let's do
shall we?
entertain.
I think that takes the place of performance in this system.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah,
Should we do a nice easy one? How hard is a tune?
Average.
Average. Okay. 50-50. Acer. Blimey. On a roll today.
Ace.
Yeah,
Good
you
God,
close
this
your
guy needs
eyes.
to roll all the time.
The melody is still in your head. It's like running and repeat in the background.
Cool. So does anyone recognise that melody?
That's a good question. Is anyone going to roll Lord Reichland?
Okay, I can do that.
Difficulty?
Average?
Said with confidence.
Oh, I
know what it is.
Oh, wowzers.
Yodicus. It's
Oh,
more...
wait, no, that was.
Oh, wow.
Lazarus
Okay.
does it too. God.
Lazarus and
creepy nursery
Yodicus
rhyme.
kind of like, yeah, they're able to basically sing along with you. You both, because you got +6, okay, I know the song in Reichland, but that's not it. That's the Marienburg version. It's a song that was sort of, let's say, imported to Reichland from Marienburg some time ago.
Cool. So the plot thickens. Yeah. So explain the situation. Anyone else had any creepy experiences?
Godbert does walk up as well, having, I don't know, licked his fingers.
Old man.
What? Oh, hey.
Apparently, the local watery tot paid the coachman a visit.
I've just met a watery tart, but
Different one, I'm afraid. This one seemed a little bit more on the...
Fucking gross.
Yeah, I have to admit that did throw me a little bit there.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, old man. Enough.
I
This
just
thing
walked
apparently-
into the pump.
Was trying to give the stable boy a heart attack.
what?
I assume you fill him in.
Yeah, I do indeed. So I'll kind of go through again what can happen,
Yeah.
what I heard in the old stable. Let's try and do another entertain, shall we?
Sure.
Yeah, it's out of my head now. That's it. Lost it forever.
Oh,
Sigurd pulled it off? Oh, no, he's
Doesn't-
just drinking.
doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, well.
I know the name of the song, though, so I can tell him the name of it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, I may interrupt the performance before you can actually finish it to tell him the name of the song.
So isn't that a Marienburg song?
Last I checked. Now, the question is what it's doing in the middle of nowhere, because this is quite literally the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, about that. GM. Those soldiers I saw before, now that he mentions Marienburg, does that do anything for me, or would I know anything about their uniforms?
They were wearing local colours
Okay.
for local people. You would recognise them as consistent uniform with the guard that are currently there.
Okay. So no triggers there. So this was a lady, you say?
Me, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, describe middle class, kind of silver class. Lady didn't get to see her face. Disappeared behind a nice wooden kind of trellis. Yeah.
Was she like walking through things as if they weren't there, or?
No, didn't walk through anything. Literally just walked past, and then as she was walking past this kind of trellis pillar, she just disappeared. So didn't come out the other side. So didn't walk through anything, just disappeared.
The more you talk in your German accent, the more XP you get.
Well, I hate you so much. My German accent's terrible. I'm trying to avoid it. Yes, Zeddy's spooky.
Is there anything in the lyrics of the song that might suggest how, like, a person might have died, or like groups of people died?
I don't know, we'd have to know the lyrics. What's the song about?
Let's say the modern day equivalent would be a tissue. We all fall down.
Oh, lovely.
So,
Plague.
between my lore Reichland and could maybe like a lore medicine, could I figure out what the nursery rhyme's about?
I will say the nursery rhyme is not necessarily medicinally informative, such as the current nursery rhymes we have about plagues, but you would certainly think that it's related to disease that killed people.
Okay.
But I would say, unless you had specific knowledge of history, I would say, as to where that song came from and when, I think we might need to be more into lore history, because this is also an old song, I would say.
Okay.
But it would be, let's say you have some ideas as to where to look, but I'll give you as much as it's a song that you suspect is about a plague.
Okay.
But it's also an old song.
Well, I'll let everybody know that the song is probably about a plague that hit the town that it originated in.
Delightful. Well, perhaps he had some unwanted or unnoticed immigrants from the nearby town that made it here after all. You know, before I took this job, I used to tell myself ghosts were stories. Now I knew better, with grandfather fighting in the war and all. But it's a hell of a damn thing that all of a sudden I come to this corner of the middle of nowhere and I'm confronted with every nursery rhyme villain and tall tale come to life that I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, I can do you one better. You come with me. Come over here for a second. Come over here. Follow me.
I indulged the crazy old man.
Sure.
Now, go stand over. See that stall over there? Go stand over there. Yeah, a little bit more to the right. Yeah, a little bit further away. Oh yeah. Come back. Don't stand there for too long.
Do I feel anything as I do this?
God, but where is he? Where is he? Where are you positioning him?
It looks like a rather large and well-endowed gore is hitting him over the head, and simultaneously spraying stuff all over him. It's a funny scene. It's hilarious.
Okay. Yodicus, can you roll me an average endurance check, please?
Sigh. You actually have this.
Okay. You have a slight itch on the back of your neck that you like give a little scratch to, but yeah, otherwise it's all good. Your player didn't get you killed.
Come here, Jody. Come here. Open your mouth. Yeah.
I don't.
Come on, open your mouth.
I sigh. I open my mouth.
Oh man, you should not drink during the daytime, man. Look, can you cough for me?
I indulge.
He's gonna grab your balls. Don't do it.
He knows I'll shoot him.
Yeah, fair enough. So you should.
I'm ready to.
What are you looking for, Gobbert?
He's just curious because before he saw someone walk through the ghost and then he coughed afterwards, so he's just maybe the relation.
Roll me
that makes sense.
Roll a perception test for me, Godbert, just while looking in his mouth.
Average, challenging.
Average. You're right next to him, looking in his mouth. He's not trying to hide it. Okay. All seems all right.
Yeah. Well, seems to be okay. So off you go. He pets him on the shoulder. Thank you.
Shut my mouth. I look at him like he's insane, and I walk off.
I thought you were gonna put your finger in his mouth.
You might bite. He bit me once when he was a little kid. I'm not doing that again. Also, don't ever touch his balls. He doesn't like that. Don't ask me how I know.
How's Sighard doing right now?
He is staying out of the rain.
Yeah,
in the end,
so I see.
Godbert's talk. After his talk about wet ladies and something, and I'll just gossip and drink.
Is that what you're doing?
Figure out where we're gonna go. Yeah.
Sure.
It is.
Yeah, roll me a challenging gossip test. I was going to say I'll add the 20 on afterwards. I'm just messing with you because it's hard to maintain eye contact. You actually get a little bit of information on the story of the Lady of the Lake having... Well, it's the Lady of the River, but they just feel like the Lady of the Lake sounds better. She's basically pulled down a couple of fishermen and a few merchants that were travelling on a barge, and others witnessed this. It was a woman that seemingly was walking on the water during a particularly misty evening, and when they had pulled the boat up to see if she needed help or offer assistance as she seemed distressed, she turned around, made a hideous noise, and that was the last they saw of them. And that's happened to about 5 or 6 people now over the past 1.5 weeks. Fairly recent occurrence, thus everyone being somewhat terrified of leaving town, and on edge inside town.
As I wander in, I'm going to interject, thinking about the description that was given, ask if anybody saw what the ghost looked like. Or, we assume it's ghost, but what this person, the lady, looked like.
I will say that the answer is nay. No one was close enough to see the face, and the only ones that did were pulled under.
Well, I was talking more generically, like how she was dressed, things like that.
Dress-wise, despite the -2, I'll go with the fact that Sighard's doing all right. She was dressed relatively sort of smartly, sort of a smart-looking maiden. Perhaps a merchant's wife or a noble's servant. Perhaps. Though...
I look at Sighard, thinking about the description, pour some more liquor into my cup, and sigh. Given what the coachman just described to us in excruciating detail.
What's the word?
He's drunk.
The word, my good sir, is a lack of coincidence. Apparently, the old man was convinced I would catch a cold or something by going and standing in a spot. I have no idea why. But on top of that, doesn't that sound awfully like what the young man just described to us over in the barn where our horses are kept?
Well, I mean, I suppose. White dress, but did he? I don't know. Yeah. I don't do ghosts.
Well, you didn't do demons either.
Yeah, or cultists or mutants or beastmen or
No,
giant.
none of that. Don't recall a single bit of it from your childhood. And yet, here we are.
Where's Bird at? Oh, there you
Well,
are.
last I saw, he was standing on a bridge, but I think he may have followed me in.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Here was lost in thought.
Well, Bert,
Well,
what are you thinking?
I'm thinking that that place where I put you over there, there's some ghosts there.
Damn it.
People don't see them, but I can. And, yeah, there's definitely something off here. Something that's stirring up these things. And I don't know what it is. Can
Well,
I
you
do?
say you see him, but Got saw him too.
Yeah, can I do like a folklore test to see what I can remember about spirits or anything?
Yep.
Ghosts, what it might be.
Yep. Okay. There have been incidents that you've heard of where battles that have taken place in either ground that is tainted or in the vicinity of someone with enough dark influence that the souls of those slain during the battle are unable to cross. Thus, they remain in limbo.
Yeah. there's definitely someone or something messing with powers they shouldn't be messing with, and they're keeping like the dead from finding Moor's garden. There's a number of things that can cause that, but this is a pretty big skill, so to see. So I don't know.
So we're
I mean, you
talking
do have
somebody.
to remember that we
Sorry,
were
what?
both, our towns, attacked by a hordes of beastmen recently. Would they
Yeah,
be having these problems? Now, Jim, when I was in Bogenhofen like a week ago, did I hear about any of this kind of stuff?
Nope.
And I've been wandering all over. Have I heard anything like this south of here?
I would say.
I could roll a gossip check for news, maybe.
Roll a challenging gossip. Perhaps an average perception to go along with. Okay. During your travels south, the folk there were less talkative on a whole to you as a stranger. Some degree of animosity even. You still managed to do a fairly decent job of, enjoying yourself in a tavern while there. There have been peculiar sightings, though the person refused to give any further information.
So basically, that went from locals being superstitious to now there's a conspiracy. With what we've learned here today.
Perhaps.
Or I shouldn't say conspiracy, but there's something going on that is affecting the broader environment.
That would seem possible. And on that note, we're going to take a 5-minute bio, ladies and gentlemen, before we go into our final hour and launch a random combat encounter that doesn't belong in this session on the players, so we can kill them. We'll see you all in a little bit. Take care, bye! Hey, hey, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. It is raiding in Blute Rock still, but hey. The party's alive, there's horses in the stable. There's creepy old men walking around town. Be careful. Players, back to you.
Yeah.
Do you want to investigate anymore?
Well, I can pretty much tell this town is fucked as well. So
I'm sensing a theme.
yeah. No, you said
Do you wanna
know this town was attacked by beastmen, but I don't think that's it. It's more akin to the thing I went through with your grandfather, the Battle of the Moor, with the deadites and stuff. So, like, the dudes that conjure up skeletons and squishy ones.
I don't
Worse.
see skeletons or zombies.
No, I mean the guys like him, or worse, stuff like that.
I look
Doesn't sit well with
shiftily
me.
around. I think he means the people that called them.
Yeah.
There was
Some-
that one fellow that Gilly told us about. I believe you met the gentleman in point of fact. Is that right?
Oh, I didn't
Cigar?
meet him. I saw him.
Well,
I saw
I
a
suppose.
guy. Yeah.
it's meeting after a fashion.
Well, sure. I mean, I saw that there was a guy tied up with his arms and legs missing.
That's fun.
Oh, that's good.
The
Yes.
problem is that we are left.
They claim he was a necromancer, and they took him to Altdorf for burning.
Here's my problem,
But
Bert. I take it our little issue in the woods hasn't been addressed yet.
What? Refresh my memory.
The things that are a little bit like what we're dealing with in the river. I talk louder, but the locals might get the wrong idea.
the ones that tried to bite you in the ass.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, is that stretch of woods between here and there?
yeah, it's the same word.
Perhaps we need to make a more concerted expedition, but we'll need the proper tools. Much as I hate to say it, I don't know which one is worse, dealing with pirates or dealing with this. Pirates, at least I know what to do with.
Do we need to call in other specialists? Do we need to get some Moorites? Do I need to get a hold of Matthias?
Well, we
Well, I
could.
don't know.
A couple of briefs of more would sure come in handy. I mean, yeah.
Well, what is that wandering lunatic you have? What was his name? The one that talks a lot.
Well, I don't know.
Rex! That would be the one. Yes. Doesn't he have some acquaintances with the Church of Moor? In fact, wasn't there that fellow running
Well,
around town trying
we've
to
both been
find him
dealing
the
with
other
him.
day?
Yeah, indeed. I haven't seen Rex in weeks, though, so I don't know what he's up to.
Wonder what the heck he ended up doing. Oh well. Well, hopefully he's still alive.
Well, there's one
He yelled
thing
something about overheating and then ran off into the woods.
Well, how
yeah,
unfortunate.
you wanted something more. I don't know, but that reminds me because I went to talk to that Strigani lady,
Oh, lovely. Yes.
and well, she implied that he might not be on the mark or on the level even. And that she also said something about he being a she. I don't know.
Well, I'm afraid we lack the context, given what he said to me, which was precious little except, where is this man?
Yeah.
He wouldn't even talk to us. He barged into Fernando's office and everything. It was quite the sight. He thinks himself a much more of a spy than I think he truly is. Ugh.
Who?
This crazy old man claimed to be a priest of Moor was looking for Rex. Was looking for him the other day. Ran into him because he barged into the tax office while I was helping Fernanda go through the papers.
Yeah, keep an eye on him.
Well, I mean, my biggest question is what can we do to get rid of this problem? See, I have this difficulty. Every time I look to solve a problem, I find more problems. And perhaps that's just the nature of the world, but...
Welcome to the Reichland. It's been like that
makes
since
me
I
want
got
to
up
move
here.
home. I can't even barbecue here.
I'm sure interested
It
in
rains.
those
Day.
the stone circle, the old one near where is it, Mitford?
If you're
Yeah, north of here, but yeah.
Yeah, that's been nagging on me on my mind. I mean, yeah,
Beware the stones.
might be the
How far is that set of stones, GM, from here?
Few hours. Not too far, but I will say the afternoon is upon you and you probably have enough time to make it back, unless you wanted to head out and sleep here for the evening. Seems safe, right?
Yes, I wonder how the coachman would feel about sleeping here for the night.
sleeping here for the night beats traveling in the woods at night.
Well,
True.
it wouldn't be. We can either go back in time today and do another separate journey up to look at those stones.
yeah.
I'd be more
Or we
inclined to
go up,
bring our
look at 'em
priest as
today.
well.
Yeah, one of them at least.
Mm-hmm.
I say we go back to town today. Bert, we'll have somebody, or we'll get a group together to go up and look at the Black Stone Circle by Montfort.
Yeah, I have much to think about.
Indeed. Well, gentlemen, it is getting late. I think we should probably start heading so we are not traveling in the dark.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Let me just take a moment
Let's
and get
Let's let
proper
Gots go get the. Let's get Gots from the. Go get the horses from the stables for us.
Lovely. I'm not walking in there. I'm going to go speak with the nice clerk down the road and get the paperwork I need.
Okay.
I'll help you with the animals, Guts.
Say I'll help gods with the animals.
Okay. I will say the animals are still uneasy, but nothing like before. They're still calm in your presence and amenable. Though
Yeah, I can try and charm them down a little bit more as well and calm them down if needed.
I'll give you, with the assistance of the others, an easy charm animal test. Just to make your ride home that little bit smoother.
Oh,
There you go.
That'll do it.
Horse whisperer.
Okay.
I think we found the next Wilfred.
So, one of the horses to your side that is not one of yours, that perhaps its pen got loose, seems to rather like you. And as you are tying up your two horses, it's like, hey, can I come? This seems like fun.
Hey, friend. Yeah, of course. Yeah, if he's interested. Is there any way to kind of try and figure out whose horse it is before I take a horse?
Yeah, it looks. Do you have You don't
Law
have
heraldry?
You don't have law heraldry, I assume.
If Sigurd goes with him.
New.
Perception.
Not letting y'all steal a horse.
Well, you're not there right now.
Easy,
No, I'm not.
average,
This is out of your control.
challenging. Difficult,
Average.
hard, very hard.
Average.
Oh, okay.
Average. Like, you can see stuff fairly easily. Do you have read and write by any chance?
That's talents. Is that talents?
It's a talent.
It's a talent, sorry, yes.
No.
Okay. So, it looks to be, best guess, merchant, fat-ish level of sort of breed and keep, and the way the saddle that's not on the horse right now, but on the side is most likely. But the horse is mad keen on coming with you. Stress, it does belong to someone, clearly.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, bro, you seem really cool.
No, it's cool. I can have a little kind of play with horse friend, but horse friend has to stay.
Okay. The horse is sad to see you go, but this will likely turn out to be a major plot event later in the campaign.
We could have used 3 horses. It'll be a chase scene.
Put it between the other two and get Sigurd would never know.
Nope. Yeah.
Did you buy a horse?
Okay.
We already had one jousting duel. We don't need another.
Right.
How to make a negotiation go well. Leave town with someone else's horse as well.
Yeah.
I mean, for a +10, fair play. Okay. The horse is sad to see you go, but
And I'm sad to leave it.
Yeah.
It's, we had a bond.
yeah, for a moment. You get the feeling you'll see each other again. And the group of you head off into what is soon to be the sunset back home. And are there any particular conversations to be had, or shall we skip to, let's say, 3 hours later when you are back?
You're saying.
I think we can just skip to.
I will assume there is much musing done on the way back about things that have been said, people that are suspicious, baptisms,
Yeah.
kind of just the usual sort of concerning
And I'm
things.
just going to be looking at shadows and hoping, praying, but I don't hear that melody again.
For your journey back, there is no such melody. And so,
I just start humming it from the wagon.
You bastard.
I'll join in.
yeah. Right. You arrive back via the north gate of town. The guard that don't exist welcome you in. Well, one of the untrained guards who's sort of, let's say, taking a piss as you arrive. It's like, oh, my lord, welcome back. Have you got any goods? I need to charge tax. Right? No? All right, then. I'll go back to pissing now.
Where's Lothar?
Where is Lothar?
Looking flustered, the guard quickly moves away. Yes.
Oh
Doctor.
my god, there's 2 of them.
What?
I think I had too much to drink.
What? I was already
Okay.
out.
I'm sorry, old man. For a minute there, I was seeing double.
So,
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
you're back in town. It is the evening. Yes, we have a fog overlay on the map, which looks like clouds, which is awesome. What would you like to do?
Did we get any refugees from Yettenberg?
Yes, you did.
Oh,
They're currently pitched up in one house.
Let's go check that house.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let you guys look at that. I'm gonna go see if Baku's back yet.
Yeah, good point. Actually, I may go with you
Yeah,
to
no.
that because I have to talk to him about something.
Got you are faced with a dilemma. Going to a building full of people that have come from a sickly town, potentially. Going to visit a dwarf. Or doing anything else you want to do. The world is your oyster.
Definitely checking out those sick people, or potentially sick people.
We'll come back to Gods. He's probably sleeping. We will go to Lazarus and Godbert first, as the group of you, the 2 of you, enter a shed-like construction shanty. Thin wooden walls with a thin layer of lime plaster masquerading as a home. Inside is a family of 6, or group. 2 adults, 2 younger, and 2 young. They welcome you and...
Hello, how can I help?
Hi, I'm Lazarus Black. I'm the local apothecary, and I heard you guys just came from Yettenberg.
Oh, right, yeah. We just arrived. Nice of folk to take us in. Spoke
Do you
to
mind if I
Rex. He, that investigator guy with the hat, he seemed alright. Said that we were chipper folk, so, we could stay.
Yeah. Well, if
We'll-
Rex says you're good, then
We'll
I don't
work,
see why-
like we're not... we're good folk. Good people.
Do you have a job? Currently?
My trade is whatever I can get my hands on, really.
Okay,
I'll do...
well-
You point there and I'll do it.
Fair enough.
Fireman, farrier, rock lifter, chicken chaser, you name it, I'll do it.
Well, how about I ask you some questions and I might have a job for you?
Oh, right then, alright. Sure.
Now, I was informed that Yettenberg was hit by a plague. Could you tell me a little bit about this?
Right. So,
looks concerned to his partner for a second. She pulls a worried face back at him.
well, we're not exactly sure what was going on. There was sightings of ghosts, spirits in the woods. There were ghoul lights round the town at night, and a few of them, a few folk had gone walking in. And those that were walking around town talking about what they'd seen, well, they got locked up and burned.
They got locked up and burned for what they seen, or because they were ill?
I'm not sure.
Because my next question would be like, if the people were sick, do you know what their signs and symptoms were?
Afraid not. I never saw any of the folk. One minute they were there around town. We were there in the tavern and they were telling us about what they'd saw. Next day they were gone. We were told they were sick and had to be taken away, but they were... I don't know.
Look, you're safe here. Is there anything you're not telling us or afraid to tell us because you might sound crazy or something?
I didn't see anything myself. Stayed at home. First thing I heard about them being the hag lights, ghouls in the woods or whatever, makes such ghastly... whatever they are, then I know how to keep my head down, so I closed me windows and looked after me family.
What about the others? What about the woman over there?
Me wife?
Hmm.
Well, she's round me most of the time, aren't you?
She nods.
Aye.
Can I do an intuition if she is like, I
Sure,
don't know, deceptive or
sure.
just dumb? I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Do an intuition. Please fail it, 'cause I'm not sure I can do West Country, lady. Yeah, she seems to be nodding the truth.
Right.
Well, I got a job for you if you would allow me to do a medical examination on anyone who wants the job. Just to make sure you're not going to get my other employees sick.
Oh, right, sure. Well, I mean, you can look at my arms. There are a few thistles on them, but otherwise, they're pretty good if you ask me. Come on, loves. Show 'em your arms and your feet. And
there's the... It did it again.
So what do we
Well-
need to change the second number to?
It's supposed to be out of 40. And it was an average roll.
A 40 is average, or 660 would be average.
No, 40 is what it is normally. But
Okay,
I
60.
rolled average.
Okay. There are a few signs of scarring, but no signs of disease. Seems to
Okay.
be relatively healthy.
Now, the job I have for you is very easy. All I need you to do is pick specific plants.
Oh,
My lovely girlfriend Leticia can show you which plants to pick, and you'll get paid per basket.
Right, well, I could do that. I mean, we could probably both go do some, some family time.
Yeah, I need employees, so anyone who wants to do this is more than happy to join.
Call the Thistle family in. Bona fide
Excellent.
herb pickers at your service, my lord.
Thank you. I'm just going to tell him where Naticia's shop is and to go there tomorrow morning.
We'll go there post haste and talk to him. Thank you kindly.
Godbird, if you don't have any questions, I'm good to go.
No, I will help them with the finding of the herbs. Helping Tisha. I know someone amongst you handy with some like wood whittling, stuff like that.
Wood wiggling, did you say?
Whittling.
Whittling.
Carving wood and
Oh,
charms.
I
Charm making.
could probably try. I've not too bad with a knife.
Oh, you can try it out.
Sure.
Get some help in that department.
All right, well, I tell you what. If we're going out picking herbs, maybe you can look after the little ones. They might be good. Probably age like 6 and 8.
Oh, sure.
Well, yeah, that's a reasonable age to put to work in this time span.
Well, I can teach them to make charms, sure.
It's either
Sure, why
that
not?
or you get them out begging. Like, it's one or the other, really.
Well, might
Sure.
you obliged.
Yeah, I'll take them under my wing.
Oh, you hear that, kids? You'll get a trade.
Teach you a proper trade.
Well,
That's for sure.
Boy, we've landed on our feet here, haven't we?
Well, much obliged, sir.
Much obliged. Take care now, nice folk.
Have a wonderful day.
Aye, you too.
As Godbert and I leave, I'm gonna look at him and be like, seems like what happened to Yettenberg is what's happening in Blute Rock right now.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's going to happen here too. So,
Yeah, you said there was ghosts in the woods, and they were talking about ghosts in the woods.
well,
Starting to think that
Dick
maybe this
sucks.
river lady might see us.
well, I don't know. I'm thinking that the river lady is just one of the symptoms of whatever's going on here. Just a badder one, big bad, so to speak. Definitely something we need to deal with, but we need to find out how. We have to meditate on it. Maybe see Gilda.
Sure, we can head over there.
We're going to go down to Gots. You there, buddy?
I am indeed, yeah. Microphone's unmuted this time.
Okay, good. Sorry for blanking you last time, but you didn't exist.
That's alright.
So, did Gots have any particular things he wanted to do?
Calm his nerves.
Calm his nerves. Okay.
Calm his nerves. So, I can't remember what the name of the inn was.
There's a few inns. There are some fairly attractive Strigani in town. There is a fairly holy priest of Sigmar. You have a few options.
Hey, guys,
The
if you weren't
pony
gonna
was
follow
mentioned,
us-
wasn't it? Oh,
So-
sorry.
I was gonna say if Gotts wasn't gonna follow us, I would ask him to get Yeoman and Yarla to meet us over by the temple at some point as well. So they could.
Yeah, can do. I'd say a few stiff drinks, and I can definitely meet them there. That's not a problem.
But
Okay.
you'll have time because we're gonna talk to Baki first.
Okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. Okay.
We're going to catch up with Sighard and Yodicus in a moment. Gotts is headed down first to the Hunters Guild, which is right the way down the south side of town, having just got acquainted with this area. Gotts, you walk up to a bear-like man. Perhaps not the most helpful thing to settle one's nerves. He's probably about 6'8", and he's about that wide as well. Thick, bushy facial hair, and a hand that looks like it could just simply pick you up by the head like a bowling ball.
Ah, my brother. Welcome.
Guten Tag, my friend.
Have you come for a drink?
Hi. seen some dark things today. Need something stiff to calm the nerves.
Well, you have come to the right place. Tell me, have you heard anything of the elves of this land?
The elves?
Yes.
9? No?
Your brother,
No news?
has he told you of them?
I've been traveling this road for years now. I'd never seen an elf, never heard, no news.
They are in the woods. It is the cause of this plight, and I understand you are related to our king. Smirks as he says the word.
Of royal blood, yes, but illegitimate I am.
Tal welcomes you all the same.
Gives you a hearty pat on the side and passes you a slice of roasted hog that's currently on a spit roast right now, and it
Absolutely
smells
digging into that.
great. It is crispy on the outside. The fat is cooked all the way through. Not a single piece needs to be wasted, and it is sweet.
Ah, best day ever.
So, after you have filled your belly, perhaps you would like to join us for a hunt.
A hunt when?
Soon. When Tal asks for it.
If you give me a pistol or rifle, I'll definitely come along.
His eyes narrow.
How are you with a bow?
Black powder's my expertise.
He raises a finger, finger palm facing you, as if like I have a point to make, rather than the other way around.
Tal respects the ways of old, tradition.
He looks down to your whip.
Okay.
I assume you are proficient.
I am indeed, yeah. I touch a witch, give it a pat. And, so yes, I respect the ways of the old too, but trained with black powder as my a smirk at the time king demanded.
Perhaps my king can best yours.
I laugh, most likely.
He, at this point, gives you a wink and throws his tankard up to the air. With a murmur of Think fast. I'm going to ask you to make an initiative roll to see if you can quickly pull your whip and get to it before he throws a knife at it.
Sure. Difficulty?
Challenging. Yeah, you could use your pistol, but we're doing initiative to see who can draw it first. So this will be on your main attributes. Okay. So you're going to have to just roll initiative.
Oh, sorry.
Initiative is an attribute instead of a skill, so it's on your main tab.
Yep.
Okay, so he sucks.
Well, just wait.
Out of 73 as well, which ain't too bad. Yeah. You draw first, but do you hit it? Can you roll me a average ranged attack, please?
Yeah, certainly. He says. So just with whip, yep.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Just as he gets his knife out and pulls it behind him to throw up at the tankard he's just tossed to the ceiling, it already is like twing across the room from your whip pulling out.
I'll say it again. Best day ever.
Impressed. 2 ales. 2 large tankards are poured for you. Now, we are to do business with the Lord, are we? You mentioned.
Yes.
Very well. Let us walk. He is, like, over a foot taller than you, so it's a bit of an awkward his arm round your shoulder. 2 of you both tankard in hand.
Yep, certainly. And I just try and keep up with him drinking, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get destroyed.
Can you roll me a consume alcohol, please?
I can indeed.
Okay. And
average, challenging.
Average for this one. Okay. That's the first of many. Okay, we're going to go over to Sigurd and Jodicus right now. Yoink. Don't split the party, they say. Pah, I laugh in the face. Don't split the party. Let's see. Right, at least I haven't forgot one of my players this time. Bocky. Right, there we go. Doink. There we go.
I'm going to give you a heads up. I got booted from Foundry, so I'm trying to log back in.
Okay. Well, for the moment, we're just talking. So, but if you need to roll any dice, I'll bear it in mind. Is everyone else still in?
Yep.
Cool. So, Bocky and a few other dwarfs are currently setting up within the old offices. Hello?
Baki!
Oh, welcome, my favourite ungie.
I'm glad to see you're back into your old setting.
Aye. A dwarf smelling silver is a dwarf particularly happy.
Well, I am particularly happy to see you back in business here.
Aye. So,
have you had a chance to look at any of the sites that they pointed out to you?
You mean where the silver is?
Yeah.
I just waited on a couple of swords to come by and we'll deal with the squigs. Well, we'll have a fair go at it. Got a couple of incendiaries I've made.
Good. I was going to ask. Don't know how to... Never dealt with them myself, so I'm glad that you have some experience with them.
Well, there's an old dwarf saying, if you can't poke it with an axe...
He whispers in close. It sort of leans in, bearing in mind he's a good... You're 6 foot, so... A good 2 foot shorter than you. Yeah. A good 2 foot shorter than you. So he's like, I'm whispering to lean. Do you humour
I'll be
him?
down. Yeah.
As you get close to him, blow it the fuck up!
Yeah, I'll just laugh. I'll start laughing. Excellent.
Hey!
I can get behind that sentiment.
Indeed. I've made a couple myself, and we're ready to go. So, hey, it shouldn't be long, and we'll get to work.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Yeah, if you need any extra help, I know a couple of dwarves that would probably love to come and help you flush them out.
Aye, well, more hands the better, although you wouldn't want to get in the way of a bomb. What the fuck is that music so loud? Bear with me.
You guys must be very happy to be here. You're playing music.
Hey! Who the fuck's playing that music so loud? Where the fuck are you? Jesus Christ, where the hell is it? Market default. I've got like 100 audio tracks in my defense here.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
And I can't
I don't
find
even
it.
hear it on my end.
Yeah, you muted my GM prep, thank you. Where is it? Oh, frickin' Jesus. That'll do. Sorry about that. Fucking musicians. Cunts.
Well, at least they're happy to be here.
Eh? Well, I suppose. Speaking of which, what are you going to do about that Strigani problem?
Is she bothering you right now?
Aye, look, they're living in carrots. It's not a hole. It's disgusting.
Yeah. That is a tentative. Yeah, well, we're giving them a little bit of leeway right now because they did stay and help defend the town from the beast when they came.
I suppose.
So, I mean, they are Strigani. They don't tend to stay in one spot too long, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, that's all I'm saying. If it don't live in a hole, don't trust it. But if it lives with wheels, really don't trust it.
Well,
That's a grudging.
okay. I was going to say, we are all kind of living in a hole right here, right now, so we can fix this place up.
Aye, I suppose.
But,
Aye, I'll drink to that.
but I'm sure Morgan is more than happy to see you guys back too.
Fine.
Not so fond to see him yourself.
Well, he's all right, I suppose. Don't always see eye to eye.
Well,
It's good to be aware of. He seems like quite the entrepreneurial sort.
Aye, start to wonder what of the deities he's actually worshipping. Focused on his coin purse rather than his clan.
I can see how that could be a difficulty.
Aye. Pockets are longer than his beard. Don't trust a dowie whose pockets are that long. But, fair play to the gentleman. Got a few coin to his name.
Well, hopefully we can bring a few coin to all of our names.
Aye,
Yeah.
and that's why we come back. Silver! And does a little jig in front of you. Like heel toe. So, if you don't mind, I've got
there are other.
planning to do.
All right. If you find yourself in need of more black powder, you let me know, and I'll try to get my contacts to bring some more up.
Oh, aye, I'm not gonna... Oh,
You all right? Did you fall?
no, I'm just... hungry. I'm feeling a bit emotional right now. The last bastard tried to tax me out the wazoo when I tried to buy black powder. You're all right, Ungy. You're all right.
Well, thank you, Master Dwarf.
I
I
see.
hope the best for you. You let me know if we do anything.
And you.
If you find anything else.
fluctuating Scottish Yorkshire dwarf. Can't make up his mind. Neither can Hydra.
Well,
It's
he's
just
very
his
emotional.
emotions getting to him.
Oh, yeah, his accent fluctuates when he's happy. So he's a complicated man, very eclectic. So, I think we whizzle back for a second here to Lazarus and Godbert, who have been pondering, I assume, after their ventures.
Yeah. Get more info.
Good idea.
Yes.
And I think Godbert will probably cross the paths of a particular hunter with a tankard of ale, with gots. I need to remember which person can drag which token. There we go. And I will say the four of you all pass each other headed toward over the bridge. Brothers!
Hey, Yeoman.
Good to see you.
Lazarus. I see we have a bower in town.
Yes, you can thank Lord Sigurd for that.
I believe we are off to thank our king right now.
He's still got his arm over Gots at the moment, like giving him a
nice cuddle.
A nice cuddle, sort of like a overbearing boys' night out character.
A sidelong bear hug from a bear man.
Pretty much, yeah.
I have made a friend.
I'll say his armpit is quite stinky. He doesn't wash as often as you. And you don't wash that often. It's like bath week in this world. But anyway, over to you.
Brothers, are we to negotiate with our lord?
Well, it appears so.
I guess. We were heading over to the Strigani.
Beware. Anything that attractive is probably a witch.
Good thing I'm not there to stay silent about his girlfriend.
As he is walking, Yeoman, he's then sort of whispering down to you.
Have you seen Yala?
Recently?
She is the fairest maiden of them all. She's not a witch.
I see.
Choosing not to get too involved. Smart choice. Smart choice.
Yep.
Yep.
Just, yeah. No, so I hear.
Okay. Sigurd, Eudegus. Yala is currently outside. Yeoman is pointing to where she is, but she's currently chatting with Gerard and Davith outside the Temple of Sigmar.
Yala!
She turns before you arrive, Sigurd. Hello there, my lord.
Yara, how you doing? How the crop's doing fair now with the added equipment?
The plough has been appreciated. I've been busy.
Excellent.
We have some
I would imagine.
berries and vegetables, my lord.
And behind her, Gerard and Davith both bow briefly.
My lord, nice to meet you again.
Brother Dareth, Gerard.
Davith
See
bows,
both of you.
maintaining eye contact.
May we be of service, lord?
Have you all been noticing this ghost presence crap that's going on around the woods and in town and stuff?
Yarla speaks up first. And anyone else, by the way, that walks over is free to. You're not stuck up there.
Yeah.
Yes, I've heard a few sightings and incidents, well, you name it. Some people claim they've seen them by the tree line. A couple have claimed to have had dreams of loved ones recently. Somewhat concerning, because, well, more can be mysterious, but tends not to raise those that have already dead.
Indeed. I mean, I've heard from my dad and my grandpa that usually at sites of large battles, this kind of stuff can stir up, but we've heard that it's happening in other towns, and we saw it firsthand in Blute. I would very much like your all's counsel on what we should do to try to ward ourselves from such incursions until we can, I don't know, maybe find some more rights that can help.
I see. Well, this is Moor's domain, not mine. We have
Indeed.
fertility to see to, and one must respect each god's domain, and this is the domain of Moor. I'm sure Sigmar is probably watching us.
And looks towards Gerard with a sort of like a, and you're included too, sort of facial expression.
Too fucking right he is. Keep watching. Looking after all of us. Saw a guy the other day. Told me he'd seen someone. Someone did. Fucking baptized him.
Did you,
Fucking baptized him twice.
I'm sure he's very happy for it. Did you look into his claims?
No, I just
Have you
baptized
seen
him.
anything out of the ordinary? Alright.
Nah. Other than occasional sightings of loved ones. I mean, it's just kind of to be expected when you've not had Sigmar inside of you for that long. Makes
I
you
look
go,
at Yarla
makes you go kind of
sympathetically.
Well, these people do need a lot more Sigmar in their lives.
I think they need all the gods, but yes. Sigmar. Yeah. Well, I wanted to see if y'all have heard anything or seen anything. We'll I may have to take a travel. I mean, Yeoman, you've been out in the woods quite a bit. Have you seen anything yourself?
He grunts and looks to the side. I'm going to say, to save you any trouble, Yarla is going to walk up to him and
Tell them what you've seen. Stop being a child.
and just like grabs him by the chin and gives him a fairly caring tap on the cheek and a smile before walking back, and he's left like, that was nice.
I straight faced.
There have been some lights spotted in the woods. I've told the hunters to stay clear.
Let the
That is
rituals go with the young'uns.
Well,
did you get the recruits I sent your way? The
Yes.
quickening?
much appreciated as well. No one is dead, which is good. I'm grateful for that. But the woods is Tal's domain, but I will have to pray in order to find a way to deal with such trials myself. The quickening is upon us in a month, and Tal does not wait.
Tal protects us, and I hope that I can repay him.
I will join them in the woods, this time, as a shepherd.
I think that is wise.
Yes. Well, I will let you know if there are any changes in the matter, but for now, lights are not as threatening as elves, remember. My king.
I do.
Turns around
We don't
and
need formalities, and I am no king, sir.
wanders away.
Thank you. He's mad at me.
Someone's not killed the elves yet.
Well, it is. Yeah.
If I'm not needed,
All
I'll
right.
be
Well, I think my
disappearing.
next. Oh, sorry, Yarl.
I'll be disappearing.
Indeed,
if
Yarl. Thank you very
that's
much.
okay. That does remind me, there is a small thing.
Looking at Lazarus, Godbert, at the moment.
There is, and I'm sorry to burden you with this, but the family who I had sent you to before with the sickly man, they have another that's ill, and again, this is beyond me.
Madam, I hate to ask this. How many other families are we looking at with illnesses that are difficult to explain?
These are the only two individuals I've not been able to assist to some degree. That's not to say I can work miracles. Sometimes I can. But sometimes people are beyond the reach of... Put it this way. Some of those I pray for, and my God does not answer.
I can understand that powers that are not under our control will do as they will. I was more concerned, given the stories that we've been collecting from both the north of here and now the south of here, about incidences of strange diseases connected to the appearances of the ghost lights.
I'm afraid far outside of my expertise.
Indeed.
Aye. Fucking weird.
From Gerard.
Yarla, ma'am,
Yes?
do you think these illnesses are Shalia domain or Moor domain?
They're every domain, but they're outside of my reach. I do not know. But I would not like to guess, lest I be wrong and get someone killed.
Well, I will venture into Blute Rock then as soon as possible to try to drum up some additional aid from some of the other sects.
Very well.
Do you need anything else, ma'am?
More farmers, more ploughs, but for now we are ploughing just well. If you do not
I'm glad
mind,
to hear
I'll
that.
be
We will work on some.
I'll be off.
She sort of awkwardly,
Very well.
shyly steps away. Hands behind her back during the conversation. does seem somewhat disturbed by what's going on. A little bit... shame is a strong word, but perhaps it applies. And so, the group of you are left to muse about... I'll be off inside then, mate. Let me know if you want me.
Indeed. Please, if you hear any more stories of apparitions and strange dreams, would you please let me know, or if Yodika's here.
Will do, mate. And if you get any weird dreams or anything, let me know. I'm someone you can really talk to.
Will do.
I'm a really good
Thank
listener.
You. I know.
Steps back inside. So you guys pondering what the hell's going on?
I think we're going to have to do something about this because it looks like we were talking about it getting here. It looks like it's already here.
I didn't think it was until we stepped foot in Blute Rock, and then I realized it had already been here.
This is a bit depressing.
But, indeed.
Now it looks like by
Give me some specialists.
By the time that conversation was wrapping up, Godbert and Lazarus have headed over to the Strigani. And you would have seen that, Sighard and Yodicus. Are you allowing a few minutes, or...?
I'll head over.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll probably head over as well.
I'll say the two of you join in a minute's time. Godbert and Lazarus... It's quiet inside for a change. Come in, darlings.
Yeah, I will come in.
And Gots, I assume right now you have no idea what's going on, but everyone's just walking around like...
Yeah, basically, I'm just enjoying my show.
Just enjoy. Fair enough, I don't blame you. You should probably like and subscribe. So now we go to Lazarus and Godbert. Like, Sighard, you're not here for a minute. Go away. Drag your token out of there. That's right. Hello, darlings. So, how are you?
We'll get a pastry.
Get a pastry first. Fair enough. Yeah, the three of you enjoy a brief pastry. Lazarus. How are you, my dear?
I am doing well, Gilda. How are you?
Good, very good. How's she doing?
Naticia?
Mm-hmm.
She's doing well. We have some workers to help her out so we can increase our herbalist production.
Going to need it. I got you something.
Oh, really?
It's for
I have
her.
to. Okay.
A little something just to help.
Okay.
Hands you a small vial.
Sure, I take it.
Sure.
Thank
To
you.
help things along. She has
What do
a
you mean?
big grin on her face right now. Oh. Can't go telling you everything, darling. And ruin all the fun. Ruin the big surprise.
Very well.
It's for her, though. Don't drink this one.
Okay, I won't.
It would not
take
go
your
down
word.
well. Oh. And so, what's new in Reichland, my dear friend and colleague?
Well, I think we better ask you what's new in Reichland, because I think you know more than we do. And I don't like this you keeping us in the dark and stuff. I mean, let's go to end sometime.
She smiles at you for a second, Godbert, and sort of just puts an elbow up on the table, hand up against her face, and looks at you with a, I will say, a sweet smile.
I'm not keeping you in the dark, darling. You are. I did get something to help, though.
Did she give me something last week, or
She was going to give you something. She
Yeah.
was going to prepare something for you. She
Yeah.
called it a potion. She hands you a picture. A fairly small frame of a older looking lady. It looks familiar. Lazarus, I will say it's not necessarily visible to Lazarus, as it's a fairly small picture, unless you make a point of asking to see. But in front of you is the face of perhaps an 80-year-old lady. Perhaps 90, perhaps much more, who knows? Age can be a very difficult thing to gauge in the world you are used to living in. Can you make me an average intelligence test, please? This is for Godbert, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to reroll once. I haven't failed. I haven't passed the.
You haven't passed a single one of Gilly asking you to pass a roll tests. Okay.
Yeah.
Your mind goes quiet for a moment, and you hear a voice, an older voice, and it's almost as if the picture in your hands is talking to you, somewhere between a memory or a vision, a premonition. It is impossible to tell, but the two of you are singing together a familiar song, and I would say that the tone is joyous, at some sort of celebration over drinks. This lasts for about 5 to 10 seconds before there is a knock at the door. Gotts, Jodicus, and Sigurd. The snacks have been nice, tasty. And you're outside Gillies right now.
Here we are again.
Oh my, I'm going to have to get a bigger caravan.
Seems it. So we have interesting news. It appears our problem is not that locally defined. Looks as if it's spread both to the north and to the south of us.
That's not the only two ways a compass goes, darling.
Well, it's the only two ways I know for certain this thing has moved, whatever it is.
Question is, where did it start?
I'm wondering that myself.
Yes.
Me too. Me too. Tea, anyone? Gotts, I will say you're now inside a small caravan that is very, very cozy, with the 5 of you all shoulder to shoulder, scrunched
Lovely.
up, and a incredibly attractive Stragani lady in a particularly transparent set of silken garments, just all smiles with very luscious hair.
Well, I remember a conversation I had with my old friend who was about a foot taller than me and
Yeah.
about 10 foot wider than me.
Yep.
And I'm going to be very respectful.
Good idea. Good idea. Right. So, tea. What would everyone like?
Special is today, Gilda.
The special.
I just had some off the way.
Good.
I believe you had something for me.
Yes, darling.
And anyone looking closely at Bert might see a little tear in the corner of his eye for some reason. He might not even know himself.
Yes, darling. I'll give it to you soon. Seems it's not ready yet.
Do I notice Bert's expression?
I'd say there's a slight fluster perhaps to him.
Duly noted.
Soon, Gobbert. Soon. Keep resting.
Godbert,
Yes.
one more hard intelligence test.
Hard. Come on, baby. I've got one more reroll, so I'm just going to use it. Why not?
Burn rerolls on backstory.
Yeah.
That's what the players say. It might not be backstory. It might just be your doom.
No.
Sure.
It's hard, so.
It is. It is. And she's distracting. The tea is nice. The picture's confusing you. I would say it's slightly uncomfortable to look at now, but still something you want to keep.
Yeah, I think that at this point he just leaves the caravan.
Okay.
I got things to think about.
Okay.
I'll catch you later.
We'll speak soon.
Yeah.
Speak to the mushrooms. Hear what they have to say. The grey caps.
The crying ones.
Yes, the grey caps in particular. The most vocal. Speaking of which...
And as you're leaving, she rummages around a shelf and organises a pot of a particularly floral tea.
So, darlings, what brings you to the caravan? Anyone want an ear removed? Good way to hide a curse.
No, I'm good on that now. Thank you.
I mean, I'll always drink your tea, but I have some questions for you.
Marvellous. Questions are good.
Have you heard of anything that happened in Yettenberg?
I haven't been as fortunate as to have anyone back from there. I did send a friend down to investigate. You can imagine how they're doing.
There's a plague going on there. And I talked to some of the villagers, or new refugees actually, and they said that they were all seeing ghost sightings and all sorts of things in the woods. Do you think the two are related, or do you think this is something else?
She closes her eyes just for a second and sort of just wriggles her neck as if to sort of get a crack or two out, and the kettle that is currently boiling begins with a slight hiss and whine that you would expect that ends up turning into a scream of someone in agony. It lasts a few seconds before she opens her eyes.
Might answer your question, darling. Not sure what it means yet. Tea, anyone?
Please.
Marvellous. So, Yettenberg, a mystery. Until, well, my man's not coming back, but... someone goes digging, I guess. Perhaps you could be my brave young heroes.
Was willing to help a friend.
Indeed.
I think the entire time she's talking to us, I'm just kind of staring at that, kind of not intentionally, but just staring at that that divider, that Muslim divider thing where that person was before when I first met her.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And until she like says something to me directly, then I'll kind of snap out of it and just looking towards her.
I think she will see you looking.
Everything all right, darling?
Well, ma'am, one mess leads into another, leads into another.
Yes.
More questions and answers.
Lots of them.
How's your knight friend doing?
Heard a nasty rumour that he might be dead. Find out when he comes back. Fingers crossed.
Comes back dead?
Well, if he doesn't come back, he might be dead. Or if he comes back and he's dead, then that'll be a right old mess. We could come back and then die. Or he might be fine.
Well, let's hope not. I'd like to thank him personally for his help.
Good. He shouldn't be too much longer, but lots to do. Lots to do.
Yeah, we all have.
Yes. No rest for the wicked, so they say, nor for the dead.
Yes, that would be the concerning part.
That would be the motto for our town, it would seem. Or, perhaps, province.
Half the Reichland by now?
Perhaps.
I hope this doesn't have to do with that tomb.
It's probably got everything to do with that tomb, darling.
You think I should go take a look?
I think that would be fun.
Yeah, thank you for the tea, Gilda.
Take lots of torches.
Much appreciated.
Very dark in there. So I'm told.
Delightful.
And I've been a quiver with anticipation right now, but you have brought a new friend here and not introduced him. I should probably remove a finger from each of you just for such.
Oh, boy. I am already missing one. I'm going to hold up my left hand with the missing half middle finger.
Consider it a debt already made.
This is my second cousin, Gotts.
Gods.
Yeah. The professional coachman, best I've known.
A very,
Good,
very robust-looking man.
Thank you. Much obliged.
I've always liked
Gotts
horse
is
riding.
Gilda. She helped us immensely with the Beastmen invasion.
Saved a few of them.
She is a
So the
endless
tales
well
are.
of knowledge.
Yes.
So,
Quite the local hero, so I'm told I am.
Oh, one doesn't
you
want to
are
brag.
quite the hero.
Now, if you don't mind me, there is a man waiting outside who needs something cutting off.
That sounds fun.
No,
I will leave you to it, ma'am.
it'll be exceptionally painful. But he'll feel all the better in about 3 months' time.
Wow, that's something. Thank you for
Something
the tea, ma'am.
indeed. No problem.
It's truly been a pleasure.
Thank you for everything, Gilly.
Likewise, Toodles.
Our paths will cross soon. Good night.
Sweet maiden.
No, I don't have that. Don't be much in the face.
Okay. There is one last thing that will happen before the end of the eve that is of note. And Hydra needs some specific music for this. Actually, let's do the Endeavour table rolls first. Let's go for Godbert, you were the first to leave. You shall be the first to roll.
Let's roll. There we go.
Endeavour table. A group of adventurers passed through your tavern. They claimed to be treasure hunters returning from the Haga crypts. Pass an easy gossip, buy them a drink, and they will gladly tell tales of their exploits. Perhaps relevant for someone in the party.
Yeah.
Perhaps indeed. I will leave that up to anyone that's interested. They'll be in town for a day or two and willing to share a tale or two. So we're going to move over to Yodicus. Well, I put tense music on. A local crop failure. Food becomes increasingly scarce. Many folks suffer terribly. Apologies. Characters and peasant classes cannot take the income endeavour, and food prices are doubled in the area for the duration of the next adventure. Ugh. Oh, it's just characters from the peasant class. Okay, well, I think that's all of you fine, although it is going to cause a problem for farming and something interesting next session. Awesome. Sicard. And this table, GOTS, is the Endeavour table, so hopefully you found it.
I can't say I have, no.
Top
Been looking.
right-hand corner of the screen, there are 3 little lines, or is it 4? I can't tell. 3 little
yes,
lines.
yes,
Click on
I see.
rollable tables, and then there is an Endeavour events. Get ready. Sicard? Veki. Sicard may need to refresh. Lazarus, while Sicard is broken.
Yeah.
Raid! Oh no! Ring the bells louder! Call to arms! We're under attack! See defending the town journal entry! Oh no! Okay,
Explains why there's food shortage.
Okay. Well, good job you've got 5 guard that aren't trained. Okay, well, next week starts with them defending the town, but let's see what rolls. Oh, shit. Okay, this is bad. Okay. I kind of thought you would have a defense force before this happens. I've got the table open right now.
We've got the adventurers, they can help.
The adventurers can help, yeah. I need someone to roll me 1d100. Who rolled that first? Who rolled the table result? Lazarus, roll me 1d100 first, and I will tell you what opponent it is on my chart. There are a few options, but some sort of people within the woods. Or from the river. We will find out. And can you roll me another D100, please? Oh, that's rough. Okay, no one else can see the chart. Okay, that's good. You rolled less than 80. Can you roll me 2d10, please? Feel free to roll low numbers. Just roll like a 1 and a 2. It could have been worse. Okay. Sure. That's awesome.
As low as he can roll.
So, the beginning of next session is going to be 11 outlaws basically attempting to raid the town.
I mean, it could be a lot worse.
It's going to be all hands on deck. Okay, awesome. It could have been a lot worse. Like I've got giant on here. Well, it could be maybe pirates. That's one option as well. But I'm going with outlaws for now. It won't be pirates for a reason. Okay, we've got Sigurd. A new shop has opened within the town. The owner has a discount running. Ooh, okay. I'll tell you what it is soon. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Is there a shop that the town would really like?
A cooper.
Cooper.
Because they make barrels and wooden tools that we need.
I mean, a cooper's not a terrible thing. Do you need barrels?
Well, barrels and tankards and just...
For now, I like a cooper.
Farming equipment they make, like wooden shovels and stuff like that.
Sure. I like the idea of that. Okay. And now we have Yodigus.
Just rolled.
Oh, did he?
Guts.
Oh, my bad. Who's not rolled? Gots? Is it just Gots left? Gots left. Okay, Gots.
I think so.
I was trying to save you till last, which is why I ignored you. Noises have been heard within a nearby cave. One of the local scouts has tracked an animal heading inside, but claims what he heard was no animal. Maybe that cave is the cave that had the 2-minute that was cracked open.
Lovely.
Maybe the animal went inside and strange noises were heard.
Our dear friend with his son Timmy.
Maybe it was him heading inside with his goblin child. And the final thing that happens of the day is Lazarus, as you go back to present this to Naticia, and you hand it to her. Oh, fancy that. Gonna fucking need it. I'm having a child.
What the?
And that's where we're going to end the session. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for stopping on by. Lazarus,
Sorry,
it's
Lazarus.
hopefully
I know I'm on the
yours.
track.
We knew that was coming.
It's probably yours. She's a good girl. She's a Catholic girl. She would not mess you about like that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. It's been fantastic. Thank you very much for stopping on by. It's been lovely. I look forward to seeing you again in the future. We'll be doing more things every day, and stuff will all be happening, everything, everywhere, all the time. That last comment's thrown me, but like, meh. It's a thing. Sorry, it's canon now. Awesome. See you next week. Check out the videos too. If you haven't seen the tips videos, you probably should. They're kind of cool. Make sure to like and subscribe and leave comments on them because it helps the algorithm. Peace.
Bye.
Much love.